Hi, welcome to the Mishnah on Chaf Aleph Amud Aleph. Hakoreh et Megillah omed v'yoshev, one who reads the Megillah literally standing and sitting. Kara echad, karu hashnayim, one person read it or two people read it. Yatsu. In all these cases, they fulfilled their obligation to read Megillah. Rashi says, Hakoreh omed v'yoshev, im ratza omed, im ratza yoshev. So it's not that you're both sitting and standing, it's that you have a choice. You can sit, you can stand, it doesn't matter. Either way, you can fulfill your obligation. And Karu Hashnayim, Rashi says, is talking about two people reading the Megillah simultaneously, and even that is totally fine. You've fulfilled your obligation. And the same if one person reads it, it's fine. Makom shena'agu levarech, yivarech. In a place where the custom is to make a blessing, one makes a blessing. V'shelo levarech, and if the custom is not to make a blessing, lo yivarech, then one does not bless. And Rashi here says, lo yivarech, in sarich levarech. You do not have to make a bracha. So if the custom is to not make a bracha, you have a choice. You only have to do it if the custom in your place is to make a blessing. B'sheni v'chamishi, b'shabbat mincha, korin shlosha. In pochtin mehen ve'in mosifin alehen. On Monday and on Thursday, when we read Torah, and at Shabbat mincha, when we read Torah, 3 people are called up to read. You can't have fewer in pochtin, and you can't add to it. You can't have more. Rashi explains why you can't have more. Actually, we'll do 2 Rashis here. B'sheni v'chamishi b'shabbat mincha. Ezra tiken shiu korin b'sheni v'chamishi. Ezra made a takana that we should read Torah on Monday and Thursday. The Bava Kama b'Perek Meruba is explained in Bava Kama v'hacha ashmin and d'shloshahen. But here is where it tells us that Torah reading involves 3 people: Kohen v'Levi v'Yisrael. A Kohen, a Levi, and Yisrael. Those are the 3 people who read. Ezra established it should be on Monday and Thursday, and here we're getting more details that it's 3 people. Ve'in me'osifin alehen, Rashi says, shelo yikshel etzibor. The reason you can't add more aliyot is so that it won't be too hard for the congregation, mipnei shehen yemei melacha, because Monday and Thursday are work days, and if you say, sure, you could add more aliyot, that could make for a very long davening, and that's not nice to the people who are there. V'shabbat b'mincha, and the problem with Shabbat Mincha, with adding more aliyot to Shabbat Mincha, is that it's close to dark. It's close to the end of the day. Sharei kol hayom hayu regilin lidrosh, because all day long on Shabbat they would learn. So in other words, their Shabbat afternoon didn't have Mincha because it was taken up with learning. So they'd wait till the last possible minute to daven Mincha, and then you couldn't make it longer because you'd run out of time in Shabbat. So those are the reasons for each of the days why you can't add aliyot to the reading of 3. Okay, going on in the Mishnah, ve'in maftirin b'navi, and you also, this could really be a comma, and you also do not have a maftir reading in Navi. You don't have a haftarah on those days. Rashi says, in maftirin mishum haytama gufe, for the same reason. These are all times when you don't want to make the service longer, so we don't add a haftarah. Hapoteach v'hachotem b'torah, mivarech lefaneha ula'achareya. Literally the one who opens and the one who closes in the Torah blesses before and after. In other words, reader number 1 says a blessing and then reads number 1. Reader number 2 does not make a blessing, and reader number 3 reads and then makes a blessing. So there's a blessing before Torah reading and a blessing after Torah reading, just one in either case. B'roshei chodeshim v'chol shel moed, korin arba'ah. On Rosh Chodesh and Chol Moed, there are 4 readers. In pochtin mehen, ve'in mosifin alehen, ve'in maftirin b'navi. Same idea. You can't have fewer, you can't have more, and you don't have a haftarah reading from Navi. Rashi here explains again, in mosifin alehen, it's this in mosifin alehen, b'roshei chodeshim b'chol moed, nami ika bitul melacha. On Rosh Chodesh and Chol Moed, you have the same problem. If you were to make the service longer, you'd have the same problem of bitul melacha, of making people miss work. Demelechet devar ha'aved muteret, because some types of work are permitted on Rosh Chodesh and Chol Moed. You might have thought that all types of work are permitted, but no. In fact, what's permitted is specifically what's called davar ha'aved, something that would represent financial loss. So basically, the way it works today is people say, well, I'd lose too much money if I didn't go to work today, so even though it's Chol Moed, I'll go to work, or even though it's Rosh Chodesh, I work. So on those days also, you can't add an extra aliyah. Okay, there's 4, not 3, but we're not going to drag it out beyond that, and we're not going to add a maftir either. Hapoter v'hachotem b'Torah. And on those days also, the first person to read and the last person to read, the opener and the closer, mevarech lefanea ula'achareya. They bless before and after. Zeh haklal. Here's the general rule. Kol sheyesh bo musaf. Any day that has musaf, that has a musaf prayer, ve'ino yom tov, but is not an actual yom tov, so basically Chol Moed and Rosh Chodesh, korin arba'a. Then you have 4 readers. B'yom tov, chamisha. On Yom Tov, on an actual Chag, you have 5 aliyot. B'Yom Kippurim, shisha. On Yom Kippur, you have 6. B'Shabbat, shiv'a. And on Shabbat, you have 7. In Pochtin mehen, aval mosifin aliyot. Those days, you can't have fewer aliyot, but you can add more aliyot. Umaftirin benavi. And there's also a haftarah reading. Hapoteach v'hachotem b'Torah, mevarech lefanea ula'achareha. And again, the first reader and the last reader, each respectively make a blessing before and after the Torah reading. And the questions that I'd like to ask you about this Mishnah are, first of all, please summarize this Mishnah in a few sentences. What are the topics? What's being addressed? And the second question is, what practices described here are the same as Torah reading as we experience it nowadays, and what practices are different?